This is Our Time, the main news at this hour. I'm Ekaterina Nestorenko in the studio. Russia has violated the ceasefire declared by Ukraine for the night of May 5th to 6th. Last night, the Russian Federation's army launched 2 ballistic missiles at Ukraine. Iskander-M, one guided air-launched X-31 missile, and 108 drones of various types from 5 directions. Ukrainian defense forces shot down or suppressed 89 aerial targets. By ignoring the call to cease hostilities, Moscow is showing its unwillingness to move toward peace. This was stated by Ukraine's foreign minister, Andriy Sybiha, on the social network X. The head of the ministry emphasized that this shows Putin is only interested in military parades, not human lives.
Once again, Moscow has ignored a realistic and fair call to cease hostilities, a call that was supported by other countries and international organizations. This is evidence that Russia rejects peace, and its fake calls for a ceasefire on May 9th have nothing to do with diplomacy. Putin is only interested in military parades, not human lives. Andriy Sybiha, Ukraine's foreign minister, on the social network X.
Sumy region came under fire from Russian occupiers. There, Russian troops, they carried out a targeted strike on a civilian car. A female passenger was killed and the driver was wounded. Russian troops also attacked a civilian building in the center of Sumy with 2 drones. According to the city mayor, a kindergarten was damaged. Information about casualties is being clarified. A rescue operation is still underway at the scene. This was reported by the regional military administration. The strikes on Kharkov haven't stopped either. There is destruction in several districts of the city as a result of Russian shelling. 2 people were wounded. This was reported by the city authorities. 7 private houses were damaged. All relevant services are working at the sites of the shelling.
I was getting ready for work.
and a Shahed drone circled overhead. It was really loud. When it hit, fortunately, no one was in this area. The other half, where the tenants live, they're alive. But the house is completely destroyed. The other half burned down completely. There's a residential outbuilding in the yard. But there was no one there, just household appliances. Everything there burned down completely too. And in Kherson, fires broke out in the city after the nighttime shelling. 3 people were injured. This was reported by the State Emergency Service of Ukraine. They emphasized that despite the threat of repeated drone attacks, rescuers were putting out the fires. Today is a day of mourning in Zaporizhzhya and Poltava for those who died as a result of Russian strikes. Local residents are bringing flowers to the site where air bombs and drones struck one of the districts of Zaporizhzhya. The attack carried out by the Russian army on May 5th claimed the lives of 12 civilians. More than 50 people were injured. The police are in the process of identifying the bodies. According to the regional administration, there are 18 people in the hospital, including 4 in serious condition.
I was at home. I was actually sitting in the kitchen. I was sitting in the kitchen at that moment. On this side, the strike hit the other side. Well, what can I say? My doors and window grills fell down. All the doors flew open everywhere. Because I don't lock them, I just close them. It's like I had a feeling something was going to happen, and when it hit, I opened the main door and went out into the hallway. And my neighbors had their windows and doors blown out. There was glass all over the couches. I was at home, sitting on the balcony.
I was at home on the balcony, sitting there. I had just gotten up to go inside the apartment when it hit. I don't remember how the blast wave threw me into the apartment. I was just as I was by the door, but the door got jammed. I started banging on the door to break it open, then ran out into the hallway. I remembered about my documents. When I went back into the apartment, there was a ton of smoke. I just managed to notice that the glass and the balcony doors were lying on the couch. I peeked into the kitchen, and there too, the window, everything was on the table and on the floor. The main thing is that we're alive, but I'm still shaken. That Putin, I wish. May that bastard burn in hell. Liechtenstein will join the expanded partial agreement to establish a special tribunal on the case of Russian aggression. This brings the total number of countries to 25. Ukraine's foreign minister Andriy Sybiha announced this on the social network IK. He emphasized that this is a historic initiative to bring perpetrators to justice, which for the first time since the Nuremberg trials will ensure accountability for the crime of aggression. The U.S. military operation Epic Fury against Iran has been completed. This was announced by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. According to him, the current priority for the U.S. is to restore shipping in the Hormuz Strait and to carry out Operation Freedom. As the U.S. Secretary of State noted, issues regarding Iran's nuclear program, particularly its stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, will be addressed through negotiations. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump announced a temporary suspension of Operation Freedom in the Hormuz Strait due to progress in negotiations with Iran and requests from Pakistan and other countries. The blockade will remain in effect, but the pause in the operation is intended to give the parties an opportunity to finalize and sign a potential agreement with Iran.
As you know, the blockade is working excellently. It's like a steel barrier. No one is going to challenge the blockade. I think everything's going very well. We'll see. I can say one thing. Iran wants to make a deal.
The U.S. State Department has approved the sale to Ukraine of extended-range GDMR bomb kits and related equipment worth over $370 million. This was reported by the State Department's press service. They responded that Kiev had asked Washington to purchase 1,200 tail kit assemblies for munitions. The order will also include maintenance equipment, spare parts, software, as well as technical and logistical services. Let me add that the JDAMR is a special equipment kit for unguided bombs that turns them into precision-guided munitions. The equipment includes a guidance system based on GPS. Today, Ukraine is celebrating Infantry Day. The military received congratulations from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and also from the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrsky. The head of state thanked every soldier and all the combat brigades defending Ukraine. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces emphasized that the main task is to preserve the infantry as much as possible. This means turning to new technologies for help, particularly unmanned aerial and ground systems. Another underground school has opened in Kharkiv. This is already the 9th educational institution in the city, which allows children to study offline for free. They began moving facilities like schools underground back in 2023. This was in response to constant Russian attacks. The new school is designed for 1,800 students and will even operate on weekends. Our correspondents attended the opening of the educational institution.
The all-clear signal for the air raid sounds in the school hallways, but here, the learning process no longer depends on Russian attacks. The educational institution is located underground. For the children and teachers, today is the first day of classes and a long-awaited reunion after a period of remote learning.
We've been looking forward to this day so much. The school's bright and spacious. You don't even feel like you're underground. Right now, we're having a Ukrainian language lesson. We're having a Ukrainian language class, and for the first time in a long while, we've gathered like this, face to face, and we really missed each other. And honestly, today feels like a celebration for the parents, the kids, and of course for me too.
Vika's in 7th grade. The last time she attended a class in person was 4 years ago. All this time, she was studying online. Now, she says she's really happy to see her friend.
Class, you can meet and even chat with the other kids. I don't know, there's just a special vibe here.
Anya's a 5th grader, and she's happy too. To finally see everyone not just on a tablet screen.
I like that we're going to an underground school, but I'd rather go to a regular one.
This underground school is designed for 1,800 students. They set up a schedule for the classes, 3 days of offline learning and 2 days online. Classes will also be held on weekends. According to the city council, right now, about 40% of Kharkiv students have the opportunity to study offline.
I talked to the kids. They really miss going to school. The Slobitsky district of Kharkiv ended up without any of these schools. And today, it's really important for kids to have the opportunity to learn. We built this school using the city budget, and we're continuing construction. We're also building 2 more schools.
Soon, construction of an underground kindergarten for 120 children should also be completed in Kharkiv. Ksenia Satinskaya and Andrei Domovoy from Kharkov for Freedom TV channel.
Now, for the latest news at this hour.
Subscribe to UATV English and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukraine and all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.